There are so many images that stand out in this story of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And just there from yesterday, you could see the level of anxiety inside Ukraine, people praying on the streets of Kharkiv, which is in the eastern part of the country. Kharkiv is one of several Ukrainian cities where we are hearing reports of Russian rocket fire. And our chase team has reached Maria Avdeeva. She's in Kharkiv, Ukraine. She is a resident there. She's also a research director at the European Expert Association. And we've got her right here for our Canadian audience. I'm so glad, Maria, that you are joining us. I want to know, when you look out your window, what do you hear? What do you see?
Well, right now it's evening here in Ukraine, and it's past 6, and it's completely dark. So usually there will be a lot of lights because I live in the downtown, and it is a lively, vibrant area where you would usually see many people on the streets, and the youth and couples. And now it is deserted. No lights on. Everyone is hiding inside their homes or in the shelters or in the basements. And we hear the shellings coming up every 15 minutes, and they are quite close, so you can hear them clearly, and you understand that you have that feeling that the shelling inside the city can begin any moment. And we have had the reports today that the missile from the Russian Grad system had hit the center of the city, just right in the street, and it was a coincidence that it didn't hit the residential building or some house.
Maria, in these times of violence, of bombings, oftentimes we see humanity as well. How are neighbors helping other neighbors? How are people who are innocent taking care of one another?
It is a good question, because the Ukrainian nation became very united already after the first invasion of Russia into Ukraine in 2014. And since then, Ukraine become more and more united and ready to fight, because we are in this war for already 8 years. And now, when the moment of the major war came, people are very united. And we have the all country military now fighting against Russia, and the mobilization is announced. So every man who has military duty has to come and to get to fight for Ukraine. And also we have territorial defense units. It means that those who feel that they can handle arms and weapons, they go to this territorial defense units, being instructed, and go to their duty. For example, they now patrol the city, because we know that Russian saboteurs were putting different kinds of marks on the streets in the city, so that the missiles will be guided by these special marks, radio marks. So people are united, people help each other, but of course the situation is threatening, especially for those people, for elderly people with children. I cannot stand seeing, my friends' families where there are small children that are crying and asking Putin to withdraw troops from Ukraine.
Now there is talk that Russia would like to meet and have a dialogue with Ukraine. Would that be something you want your country to do?
Well, President Zelensky has said that Ukraine, only what we want is we want to be in peace, and that is why he is ready for any kind of talks. But of course, what is Putin talking about demilitarization and the most important, denazification of Ukraine? That's completely impossible, because there are no Nazis here. No Russian speakers were ever discriminated in Ukraine. That's completely false disinformation that Russia is spreading through its very wide network of state-owned and controlled media. So there is no point for Putin to attack Ukraine, actually, and his demands are unjustified. There is no point speaking about any kind of Nazi government in Ukraine, because, you know, our president is a Jew, and we do not have any right-wing parties even in the parliament. They are not presented there at all. And I live in Kharkiv, which is a 1.5 million Russian-speaking city, and Russians were never discriminated here. So Putin doesn't have any idea about what is going on in the modern Ukraine. And I think he is really surprised by the race of patriotism, unity, and fighting that he now faces in Ukraine.
Final question for you, Maria. Our viewers are seeing a live shot of your capital, Kyiv, and there are air raid sirens that are going off right there, right now. I know you are familiar with this sound. You talk about courage. I'm wondering if you could talk to me about hope and what is in your heart.
Well, I hope that Russia will withdraw troops and that they will see that they do not have any right to be on our soil, that Russian soldiers will understand that they have no right to attack a sovereign state. And they will not use arms against the country which is their neighbor. And my hope is that Putin will understand that the only way to de-escalate the situation is to withdraw troops, and Ukraine is ready for the peace talks. And we do not want any losses, any more losses among civilians. Today, a kindergarten, a nursery was hit by the missile system. Our children now know what is war, and it's happening in 2022. So the small children seeing the missile system and the great rocket system launching in their cities.
I want to thank you, Maria. I wish you and your family safety. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.